Alright, it's day 165 of this series. It's the finale, like I said it would be in my previous update, which was just 2 days ago. Turns out I had time on this day, 2 days later, to do this huge amount of work to clean things up, and that first involves pruning away all the branches. I don't know if you can call these branches, but it's a lot of fluff and not a lot of actual mass. So it fit into a garbage bag pretty easily later on, and it was very light, hardly weighed anything at all. And I'm wearing that filtration mask because I know there's a lot of pollen flying around. It's not that I'm allergic to anything, but later on I'm going to disturb the soil and prep it again for sterilization, and I don't want to breathe any of that in if I don't have to. And I have some clear safety goggles on, safety glasses as well, to prevent dirt particles and whatnot just blowing into my eyes and potentially causing irritation. Although that hasn't really been a problem for me in the past. It pays to be on the safe side. So this thing smells very fragrant. I can smell it through my filtration mask, and my intuition was I was going to be able to grab this thing by the trunk, and with a few yanks everything would come out. That's exactly the way things played out. So as you can see, this root ball is pretty amazing, and it's easy to see how plants control and prevent erosion, because with a root ball like that in place, nothing is going to wash away pretty much. And you can see all the dead compost on top. That it's seen a drastic reduction in volume over the last few weeks. So I never got a satisfactory answer as to what all those ants were doing living in the bottom watering tray on day 163 that I flushed out with some flood watering, like 3+ liters. It's essentially fertilizer runoff down there, so I don't know what they would be looking for eating, but they've been scared away. This main stem is surprisingly thick and tough. I was able to cut it towards the middle, as you can see, with relative ease, but towards the bottom where it meets the roots are very woody, and I just couldn't make a clean cut with a leveraged cutting instrument. One thing that's amazing about this is every time I trimmed it, the intersection is almost snow white. So I would have expected milky sap to come forth, but it doesn't ooze any fluids from being injured, even grievously like that. So it's quite amazing how something that uses so much water and must need to transport so much water up and down its xylem and phloem doesn't lose any fluid when you keep chopping away at it like that. So the rest of this just involves the work I did to clean up afterwards and recover the potting mix from this root ball so I could reuse it. I'll have to wash out that pot with hot water, do the vacuuming and whatnot, and steam sterilize the potting mix before I use it again, since I saw some things that didn't resemble mites per se, but they were just these unidentified bugs and critters crawling around in the potting mix. So I'll have to add water to that and give it a good boil for 2 hours. On a hot plate, I pulled out all the thicker sections of woody roots. So thanks a lot for watching this plant growing series. I'm sure to have a lot more new material in the future. Stay tuned to my channel on YouTube, Melvin Way's YouTube channel.